Happy Monday morning, crypto fans. I've got some amazing news to share with you. Gold had an ETF in the early 2000s, and after it launched, gold pumped big time. Will the same happen to Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market? We've got PayPay making a return, but come on now. Y'all told me that PayPay was going to die, go to zero. XRPL, 3,400 transactions per second. Game changer in the financial world? What about Stellar? Tokenization of real-world assets. They're leading the pack, by the way, but is that going to help Stellar move forward? And we've got a 98% chance that you're going to enjoy this show. Old school viewer here, Vane3D says, gotta love this guy. Well, I'm in the army, so I'm just hanging out in the barracks, doing some research and investing wisely. Well, thank you for your service, Vane. Vane OG member. Birdbrain Investment says, appreciate your knowledge, brother. I'm about to fertilize the lawn before the fall weather sets in here in Nashville. I asked you, hey, what are you doing? And I would share it. These two gentlemen did. Thank you very much. Bitcoin's in at 34,685. ETH 1815. XRP 57.4. We made it through the weekend. XLM at 11.7. Happy about that. Maker, though, pulling back 14.19. PayPay jumped 60% in a week as a top gainer. PayPay 60% last week, securing the top gainer spot as social volume sees a remarkable upswing. Amid a promising October, the asset has leveraged the ongoing market-wide rally to recover the values lost in previous months. Pumps and dumps. I saw a lot of PayPay holders out there tell me that they were going to go to the moon, but every time the PayPay green candlestick started going up, up, and up, people took profits. You don't go broke taking profits. PayPay, y'all told me it was going to go to zero, was going to go to way. Still trading. All right, gold. Big boom. All right, listen to this story about gold, and we're going to tie this to Bitcoin ETF, which can totally pump up the entire crypto market. Learning a lot this Monday morning, aren't we? Gold prices rallied 250% after the first ETF approval. Is Bitcoin next? Let's look at some information here. To validate these expectations, the crypto market analysts have been looking as far back as November of 2004. That's when the first spot gold ETF SPR Spider Gold shares was approved. The gold ETF allowed investors to gain direct exposure to the commodity with having to purchase physical gold. The chart below illustrates how gold prices reacted to the ETF listing. As always, any article you see in this video, along with all my other ones, will be linked to everyone in the description below. Check out the chart. Look at it right here. This is where the Spider ETF action was listed, November 2004, and check it out. Look what happened to gold. Now, there were some other global economic financial things going on, so it wasn't just the ETF. Crypto tokens worth 443 million set to unlock in November. Oh yes. We've got our favorites out there that are getting ready to do their monthly unlock. XRP, XLM, downward pressure on crypto potentially if the supply is outweighing the demand. But that happens every month, it's not news. 3,400 transactions per second. XRP lightning speed. A global banking game changer. Let's go over some numbers here. The XRP ledger was reportedly capable of processing a staggering 3,400 transactions per second, TPS. The remarkable feat positions XRP in the native XRP token as a potential global banking game changer. Listen to this. The astonishing number was calculated by renowned XRP influencer Alex Cobb. According to Cobb, XRP's capability is equivalent to an astounding 204,000 transactions per minute, 12.24 million transactions per hour, and a mind-boggling 293 million transactions a day. That is freaking awesome. Will it help out the price of XRP? No. Why? Because you have utility right here, but you don't have enough usage of it. It is awesome that you can knock out 293 million transactions a day, but you ain't even close. Now, I understand you build for the future, and that's the right thing to do with a business or a product. You build for scalability. But sitting here telling me that things are going to change because you can process 12.24 million transactions per hour doesn't mean shit if no one's using it. Again, you've got utility, but if you don't have usage of that utility, then what the does it matter? We're just screwing around playing a little pocket pool, aren't we? So I'm down with this, but no, won't help the price because there's not enough usage. In fact, 293 million transactions a day, let's be real here. That would be about, I don't know, 1 billion transactions every 3.5 days or so. Yeah. That's the kind of transactions you see in 1 quarter. Got a ways to go. 98% chance coming up. Elevating asset tokenization, Stellar Network's role in shaping the future of securities. Now, Stellar is a leader in tokenization of real-world assets. The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's a very important thing, and that is something that could really help out DeFi in the future. We've seen some of our favorites. I reported on a story with XDC. XDC did a tokenization product launch. When they announced it on their first one that happened about 2 months ago, their price pumped. Their second announcement of tokenization product with them didn't have any move. Stellar has been announcing tokenization. Benjamin Franklin, a little wisdom tree, hasn't done shit for the price. Again, good for the product, but not moving the price. And I think that's why you're here. But I'm still bringing in you the news so you can see what's happening. Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree, ABN AMRO, and the Bank of International Settlements are just a few of the entities utilizing Stellar for issuing bonds and money market funds. Operational efficiency. Asset tokenization of Stellar contributes to significant operational efficiencies. Issuers can consolidate their record-keeping sources, leverage the Stellar's blockchain real-time ledger for unified transaction and information record. And remember, all the transactions on the Stellar chain use XLM for gas. But then remember, it doesn't matter if you can process 293 million transactions a day. If you ain't using it, you ain't putting any pressure on the native asset via gas usage. So again, I like it. Is it going to move the price? No, not a chance. 98% chance of what's going to happen? Jerome Powell's going to take a pause. Now, I'd suggest you hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Why? Because on November 1st, we're going to be covering this live. We're going to be covering the rate announcement along with Jerome Powell's words. The words come at 2:30. The announcement comes at 2 p.m. Join us. The 1st, November. Come on, be there. Thing is this, though. This is more bullish news than the last two stories. Tokenization of assets, transactions per second. Why? Cryptos have been moving on macros. And with Jerome Powell and the Fed expected to take a pause right now, that gives us until December 13th, when their next meeting is, in order to see the markets move forward, in order to see less pressure put on us financially. I did a story yesterday that talked about the Russell 2000, and the Russell 2000 was super risky on the stock market, okay? It was one of the riskier classes in the stock market. And I talked about how people don't want to go to the risky classes because they're looking for safer places to put their money. And that's what we're talking about here. The more that Jerome Powell and Feds and central banks across the globe, it's not just the United States, it's across the globe, keep raising rates, things just become more expensive. Development becomes more expensive. Growth of business and products becomes more expensive. There's less investment. Why? Because money is more expensive. Honestly, I'm looking at you in the screen right now, and you know what? Let's go big screen. But yeah, be honest with me. Think of about like 2 years ago. You had a lot more money in your pockets. Things were a lot cheaper. Gas was cheap. Housing was way cheaper. Interest rates were low, so if you wanted to buy a house or a car, you weren't getting killed on the interest. So you got all these macroeconomic situations that are just getting worse and tightening. But right now we have the Fed in the United States saying, yo, we're going to take a pause. We're going to let some of this data come out. The reason that's important is because the Fed is recognizing, and other central banks across the globe, they're recognizing that there's a delay effect to all their rate hikes. That just because you raise rates now doesn't mean that the next day all of the effects take place. Some of the effects have quite a bit of a lag to them. 3 to 6 to even 9 months to certain industries. And that's what Jerome Powell's looking at. He's like, look, we've raised rates a shit ton. I don't know if he used the word shit ton, but I'm going to use it. And maybe Jerome Powell said that. Maybe Jerome Powell was like, look, we raised rates just an ass load. Maybe he said that. Maybe Jerome Powell's an ass man. So he's like, look, we raised rates an ass load. Let's take a pause. Let's see how the markets look when we don't touch them for a while. Now, if we start getting better PPI data, CPI data, GDP action, better job action, well, that's going to put more pressure on the Fed just to chill out. Part of the problem, though, we have is that the Fed's rate hikes across the globe are affecting lower income families more. It's affecting a lot of the So 98% chance that we're going to get some relief here in the next few days, which will extend us through to December. Gold's ETF provided us some insight on some potential poppage that we could see in the Bitcoin and crypto markets. The ETF move on gold, now I will be fair, it did take some time though for gold to really rally that 250%. If that were the case for crypto, I think a lot of you would be bored. Why? Overpromising and under-delivering. The gold rally took years and years and years to do, all right, to get to that 250%. What am I doing today? Well, today's a recovery day, so it's all branched chain amino acids and electrolytes. What are you cool cats doing? Let me know, and maybe I'll share it in the comments below. But right now, I'm going to watch some volume. I'm going to look at more specific XRP XLM goodness. I'm going to see if XDC moves at all. Probably going to game it a little bit, maybe work on my car, maybe clean a little. But you cool cats, have a great rest of your day.